The Oligophilia is one of the most common invertebrate laboratory dissections, and has also been instrumental in research leading to what we know about our own nervous system. Please select a lesson, and then press click here to begin.
External anatomy.
In this lesson you will do the following. Find external features on the dorsal and ventral side of the squid. Remove a sucker and view it under a microscope. Manipulate the chromatophores on a simulated living squid. Catch shrimp and eject ink in a live squid simulation.
Welcome to the Frog Squid Dissection module. You are about to participate in the virtual dissection of a squid. Squids are invertebrates that are part of the family Mollusca. This means that squids have no endoskeleton, and are related to other mollusks such as the clam and snail. Squids are further categorized within the class Cephalopoda, which translates from Latin into head-foot bearing. Judging from this description, it is easy to see why this group also contains members such as the octopus, cuttlefish, and chambered nautilus. The scientific name of our squid is Oligophilia, but it is more commonly known as the Atlantic long-finned squid. This squid is one of the most studied creatures in science, due to its unique nervous system. Press the 3D button on the toolbar. We are now in 3D mode. Move your mouse left and right to rotate. Move your mouse up and down to tilt. When you are done, press the arrow. Flip over your specimen by clicking the arrow button, so that we may examine the features that are on the ventral side. Good. The first thing you might notice is how much lighter the ventral surface of the squid is, when compared to the dorsal surface. However, if you look closely at the surface of the squid's skin, you will see thousands of brown, red, and yellowish dots. These are pigment cells called chromatophores. They are essentially bags of colored melanin that are radially attached to muscle fibers surrounding it. When a nerve cell tells the muscles to tighten, they stretch the chromatophore and change the squid's color. This helps squid to communicate and camouflage themselves. Now let's go over these features from top to bottom. Starting at the tip, we can see two lateral fins. Find one and click on it. These are for stability and steering while the squid swims. The fins are connected to the top portion of the feature called the mantle. Find the mantle and click on it. This is essentially a muscular cone that has the ability to expand and contract rapidly. It houses the majority of the squid's internal organs. Each muscular expansion of the mantle draws oxygen-rich water into it, and upon contraction the used water is sent back out. At its base are a series of contracting muscles called the collar. Locate the collar and click on it. If the squid squeezes the collar as the mantle is contracting, it will create a watertight seal between the lower edge of the mantle and its head. With nowhere else to escape, the pressurized water inside will then be forced into a funnel-shaped organ called the siphon. Click on the siphon. As the water passes through the siphon and exits the squid, it will form a jet-like stream. This in turn can be directed at any angle, much like a fire hose, which will propel the squid into the opposite direction of the stream. On either side of the siphon there is a valve that opens like part of an umbrella to catch water. It has a piece of locking cartilage embedded in it, which locks to strips of paleocartilage on the underside of the mantle. This helps control the tremendous pressure from the mantle by reinforcing the collar seal. Below the siphon is the head, which houses two large complex eyes that are similar to our own. Click on one of the eyes. In fact, squids have the largest eyes on Earth, with some species attaining eye sizes as large as volleyballs. One possible reason for their complex eye development is that squid have no ears and cannot hear. Connected to the head are 8 arms used for feeling and grasping. On the inner surface of each arm are 2 rows of suckers that successively get smaller as they near the tip. Each sucker is a cup-shaped muscle that is lined with a ring of tiny calcified teeth-like rippers for friction. The sucker is connected to the arm by way of a stalk, and is individually controlled by the squid's brain. So that we may see a sucker up close, please select the forceps button on the toolbar. Carefully remove one sucker, and place it on the slide over here. Now press the microscope button. Focus the microscope by pressing the white dot on the dial and dragging it clockwise to turn it. As you focus the view, you will notice the calcified ring of teeth-like grippers. These are not teeth, and in some species of squid they are replaced with retractable claws or swiveling hooks. When you are finished, press the Done button. Now if you lift up the arms, you will see a hint of a beak protruding from the buccal mass. This is where the squid chews its food and tears into its prey of shrimp, fish, and even other species of squid. In order to get food to the beak, the squid is equipped with 2 long extendable and retractable tentacles for catching prey. Unlike the arms, you will notice that the suckers are absent along the length of the tentacle until you reach the end. Here the surface area widens into a feature known as the club, and it is used for initially grabbing the prey. Now let's do a little review on the parts we've covered, and see how they work. This again is the Laligopele swimming in the Atlantic Ocean. We can see how the fins undulate to stabilize it. We can also see how the mantle expands and contracts so it can breathe. If you look underneath, you can just make out the siphon, and next to that are the squid's enormous eyes. Squids use their eyes to not only look for prey and predators, but to communicate with other squid. How, you may ask? With those chromatophores mentioned earlier. To get an idea of how squids use their chromatophores, try manipulating the 3 sliders on the left. Squids use these patterns during feeding and mating, as well as for self-defense. When you are done using the sliders, press the arrow. Next we'll look at the tentacles of the squid, and see how they operate. Click on the squid to see the tentacles work. It is now your task as the squid, to catch and eat shrimp that swim by. Once you've had your fill, press the arrow.